What's up, guys? Today we are working on a 2012 Chevy Equinox with a 2.4 liters 4-cylinder engine. This is the Ecotec, and we are replacing the alternator. So I'll show you a tutorial on how to replace the alternator step by step in your driveway. So the first thing we're going to do is take off this 10mm board for the battery cover, and then we're going to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. And then next we are going to come down here. We are going to, let me focus right there, see if we can catch that. We are going to disconnect that electrical connector. It's just a press and pull tab right there. And then we got a 30mm, not too sure whether that's a bolt or not. I've never done one of these, but we'll definitely get to it. That's a 30mm bolt or not right there. I believe that's a bolt right there. And then when you come this side, we got another bolt right there, and then the nut on the other side. But the other thing we're going to do is we are going to jack up the vehicle on the passenger side, take off the wheel. I believe these are 22 or 21mm lugnars, 5 of them. We are going to take those out, and then we have to access the belt in the fender wall right there. So let me do that, and then we get to the next step. So the first thing we're going to do is take off this 10mm board for the battery cover, and then we're going to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. And then next we are going to come down here. We are going to, let me focus right there, see if we can catch that. We are going to disconnect that electrical connector. It's just a press and pull tab right there. And then we got a 30mm, not too sure whether that's a bolt or not. I've never done one of these, but we'll definitely get to it. That's a 30mm bolt or not right there. I believe that's a bolt right there. And then when you come this side, we got another bolt right there, and then the nut on the other side. But the other thing we're going to do is we are going to jack up the vehicle on the passenger side, take off the wheel. I believe these are 22 or 21mm lugnars, 5 of them. We are going to take those out, and then we have to access the belt in the fender wall right there. So let me do that, and then we get to the next step. So once you get the tire off, you have to take off 3 clips that hold this fender wall that actually hides the belt tension. What's up, guys? So the next step is locating your belt tensioner, which is on the passenger side, and you are going to need a belt too. You can see right there, that's where we are going to actually put in our, or insert our belt too. I'm using a gear wrench. I'll leave the link in the description. So let me set it up, and then I'll show you how we're going to take that belt out. So that's our setup right there. You can see that's how it goes in. So the most important thing to know is knowing the belt route. So you can follow what the belt looks like right now, so that after the job you don't get confused, so that you can put the belt the right way. So I'm going to leave a picture of how the routing for the belt is, and now let's take that belt out, and then we get to the next step. So we are going to go counterclockwise. That's how we are going to actually take tension off the belt and then get this belt out. So this is the way it's gonna go. So after removing the negative terminal of the battery, I've decided to take this air intake pipe off. We are going to use a flathead or a 8mm socket. We're going to take it off from there. We're also going to disconnect this air hose right there, vacuum hose. We're going to disconnect it, and then if you come this side, there's a 8mm clamp right there. Let me see if I can focus. We are going to take it off from right there. So let me do that, and then we go from there. Now you see we got a little bit of room right there, so we're going to disconnect or take off this 30mm bolt right here, the nut right there, and there's another bolt at the bottom. Let me see if I can focus. There's that lower bolt right here. See if we can sneak in there. That's the one right there. And then we have to disconnect this electric connector. It's kind of a press the tab this side and then pull it. So let me do that and then I'll bring you guys back. What's up, guys? So I've disconnected this electric connector. Like I said, it's just a press and pull. Press on the tab and then pull it out. It came out from right there. But now we gotta find a way to take a nut that has the wiring that connects to the alternator. So let me show you on the new alternator. So this is the new alternator. There's a bolt right here, there's a nut right here, and there's a bolt right here. So we took out that electric connector right here, and now we have to figure out how to take this nut right here. It's in a hidden spot, so let me use the mirror to show you how it looks. And then there's actually a boot, so you can't actually see what's going on. So let me show you with the mirror. So right there you can see I put my light in there, so I'm gonna go in with my mirror. I don't know if you're gonna catch it, but if you look on the mirror right there, let me see if I can focus more. Let me put it on the side and let's get it like so. So you see there's a boot right there, and pretty much we have to find a way to sneak in our wrench right there, break loose that nut, and then we'll find a way to take it out. You can see there's a red mark on it, so let me find a better way to take it out and then we'll see what happens next. What's up, guys? So things have taken a turn. I have disconnected this vacuum hose. It connects to the air filter box and it comes from a pump downwards. So the other thing I've done is I've disconnected the AC electrical connector on the high pressure hose right there. I've disconnected that one, which is this one, cause the stud is pointing downwards. So let me crawl downwards. I show you what else I'm gonna take out, because we have to take that AC compressor to move it off the way so we can create room for that actually nut. So that vacuum hose connects right here on the pump, and then I am going to take off that 30mm bolt for the AC compressor. There's one right there, and then another one right here, that one there, and then we got another one. I shouldn't think on, there's two here, there's one there, and then let me see, yeah, we got this one right here, I believe that one right there, and there should be one on top, which is, I'm pretty sure it's this one right there. So let me take that out. We are going to move the compressor off the way so that we can access that stud. What's up, guys? So I'm under the vehicle. You can see the compressor is off the way. You can see now I'll push the compressor this far, and now let me show you where this nut is located. You can see right there, you take the boot out, it's pointing directly downwards. So I don't know, the engineers, I don't know how they set it up or how they made it. They try to make the job difficult for us technicians. So you can see I take off the rubber boot, and that's the nut right there. It's pointing directly downwards. You actually got no access. So right now, let me take that out, and then we'll go from there. So we got our alternator out, so you can see this is the wiring. This is the one that comes from the battery. Yeah, that's the one that's actually pointing, the stud is actually pointing downwards. So the only way to get to that is pretty much moving the AC compressor off the way, and then create room for that nut to come out. So from my take, I think the customer might have something leaking that went into the alternator. Pretty much is the oil leak, so we'll look into that as well. So you can see there's actually a pad of oil on the AC compressor, and I'll show you on the alternator. I believe it's the valve cover. So let me show you the old alternator. Let's compare to the new one, and then we'll go from there. So we got the two alternators. This is the new one, and this is the one I just took out. So let me show you. You can see I think oil has seeped into the alternator, and that's why it gave up. So we'll look into the valve cover job. We'll let the customer know so that we don't have the same problem over and over. So we got the new alternator right here, courtesy of AutoZone. It's a Duralast. We got some life warranty on that one, and that's the part number right there. It's a remanufactured, but I mean, we got the warranty. Anytime it goes bad, we'll just take it to AutoZone and they'll give us another one. So let me install this new alternator, and then pretty much the installation of the new alternator is the reversal of how it came out. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll bring you guys back when everything is set to go. What's up, guys? So alternator is back in, everything is running perfectly fine. The vehicle is running right now, so you follow those steps, you got your alternator replaced in your driveway. The most important thing is make sure after everything is done, double check your work, make sure the plugins are plugged in, the bolts are tightened, the belt is put in the right route, and pretty much you get the job done. So I think AutoZone gave me a flyer to put in the vehicle. I believe this is for roadside assistance, depending on if you have a Duralast battery and a Duralast alternator. So I'll put this in the vehicle. I'm not sure 100% how it works, but if you call that number right there, I believe you can get more information. So pretty much we got the job done. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much. Keep watching and keep sharing. And for you who haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. It just helps with the YouTube algorithm so that we can have more videos for you self-doers out there. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and follow for more. We'll see you on the next one.